Hey everyone, Hod here. Just wanted to drop by and give a little bit of a sort of view into my insights and predictions for the Cal Cup Winter Major. Um, so, a little forewarning, if there's anything I hate more than existing on this plane, it's putting effort into anything. So you get one take, no editing, just my raw stream of conscious. Let's get into it. So, for the pick'em game, we're supposed to pick the 16 teams that make it to day two. That's cool. I'm just gonna put in my name here. Cool. So I'll start by talking about the teams and making my sort of initial predictions, and then I'll sort of break down more of what I think is going to happen. If I don't bring up your team, it's because you haven't hit my radar. You should try a little bit harder at that. So if you know if your team gets mentions, then you're on my radar, and that means that you're basically doing better than everyone else. So to get started, I think those guys are pretty all right. That being Aces Five, I don't really have much to say about them other than I think that they are a team. Um, wow, a lot of no names here. Galactic Agriculture, stupid name. How many Gray Squadron teams are there? That's too many. Um, oh, I'm supposed to be selecting. Sorry. Cobra Tai, cool name. I like them. Air Squadron seems alright. Galactic Agriculture, because I love having like one joke pick. Gray Squadron Cheese is really good. Hut Cartel. Imperial Guard? I've not heard of that team. Give me a second here. I'm gonna go consult my sources, see if anyone's heard of the Imperial Guard. Sorry. Just ignore the desktop background and should ignore this too. Here we go. CalCup series. At everyone. Has anyone heard of Imperial Guard? I'm doing my pick'ems and I have no idea who they are. Cool. So we'll let that stew for a bit, see if anyone has any valuable insights, and get right back to it. Yeah. Rancor Squadron, pretty alright. Renegades, Remnant, Savrip, Splinter. Where's Rando? Are they under the? I hate this. Don't ever, if you're going to alphabetize something, just ignore the word the. Randos, Sarlacc. I can only select 16 teams? How many have I selected? This is terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's less than 16. I think someone at Google needs to get fired for this. Okay, well maybe I'll think of something else. So I have the three holy grail of tabs open, right? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I have the predictions, the lineups, and the holy stats. I should say, quick shout out to any of the stats men out there. You guys are the best. I love stats, and you guys put in all this hard work. Look at this. This is an entire Google Doc full of stats. Ridiculous. Yeah. So I guess I'll start by talking about. Oh shoot! I needed that image of the top 16 teams. So I think I'll just start out by talking about some of these teams. I think Cheese is really good. They'll do great. Remnant's pretty good. Splinter good. Avengers good. Savrip. They made top 16, but I think they got in on a technicality. So I would probably place them in about the bottom 90 teams in the tournament. Which is, respectable compared to the full total of 180 teams playing in this tournament. Yeah, so Galactic Agriculture Squadron, I actually have zero respect for. I think that I don't know how they won. I don't think that I would ever lose to them, personally. So, it's hard to say that I think that they'll place very highly. I think that the Randalorians are going to take first place. Undoubtedly, I don't think they'll drop a single game unless they're trolling. If you wanted to win against the Randalorians, here's my best advice to you. You're going to need some outside influences. So, like hacking the game, DDoSing them, or if you want to go for the simplest action, I would recommend just launching an RBM 128K intercontinental ballistic missile with nuclear capable warhead. That way, the precision isn't really necessary, and you should take out at least 1 to 2 randos players depending on their location and the quality of your intel. And you might say, well, Had, you can't be encouraging violence against other members of the Squadrons community. That's absurd. Well, hey, whoa. I did not encourage violence. I encouraged the launching of a 128 kbm intercontinental ballistic missile with nuclear capable warhead. That is not violence. That is total annihilation. Completely different things. In my opinion, that is, rather. Moving on from the Randall Lorenz Skull Squadron. Don't even get me started on Skull Squadron. These guys are unbelievable. Like, sometimes you just want to play a game of Squadrons and you get matched up against Skull Squadron. And it's like, great. So now I have to go up against this team that's full of amazingly polite and friendly players who are also really good at the game. It's just unbelievable. Like, I cannot overstate my distaste for how, like, great and wonderful the players on Skull Squadron are. I put them in the bottom 500 Squadrons teams, I think. Compared to the several thousand entered in this tournament, though, they'll still probably end up doing pretty well. Moving on. We had Tempest get 4th in the last thing. What was it called? Cal Cup, I think, is what it was called. So I think that they're probably all right. They have good players, actually, thinking about Tempest. Like, I have respect for Tempest players on an individual level. And obviously they have the team win under their belt, but I think that saying that they'll make top 16 is fine. I'll start out, starting this video right now, at talking about which teams are in sort of like, I see like sort of a tier thing, I think that there is definitely like the very top tier, there's sort of a gap in between. So like if we look at the very top teams, I'm talking Grey Cheese, Splinter, Asus 5, Randalorians, Gas, and maybe a few others. I don't mean this to be an all-inclusive list. I really think that these teams are going to be like very top echelon, but that's only going to consist of like 6 to 8 total teams, right? But I need to pick a full 16, so that means that I am going to have to forecast into the future which of the teams that are just on the cusp of that tier, but there's a gap, the teams on the cusp of that tier that I think that will get top 16, which is tough, admittedly. So I think that, teams that definitely fall out of that very maximum tier would be something like Tempest, Hut Cartel, Rancor, Remnant, Renegades, those teams. Another team that I think is probably like decent at the game, I'd give them maybe top 250, in the entire Gal Cup organization. Top 250 teams is Orange Squadron here. So my problem with Orange Squadron is that they're literally like the white bread of the Squadrons community. They are so forgettable. It's like, yeah, they're okay, but I wouldn't ever write to my parents about Orange Squadron. They're just the white bread. That's just how it is. But I think I'll throw Orange Squadron for getting top 16. They got top 16 last time. There they are. So do I have 16 teams yet? I don't know. Did I put Night Witches on? I might have. Or they have like Hex and Crone. See, that's what's confusing, because I only think one of those teams will make top 16, but I can't like select both. I really wish I knew more of these teams too, Oh, the Night Witches, Crone Squadron, and Night Witches Hex Squadron. See, this is a problem. If your team isn't immediately recognizable, like I'm just not gonna know who's good. That's why like I can't say I know who Imperial Guard is. Like you have to have like sex appeal. Obviously. Like what good is your team without sex appeal? Cavern Angels, I can only recognize teams that I have seen on the end screen of a Fleet Battles match-made game. I have never seen Cavern Angels on the end screen of a match-made Fleet Battles game, so I cannot adequately, critique them. Right, so starting things off here, just right from the top, the stats are probably actually really important. I watched some other guy who had some really nice facial hair. He did a pick'ems video, and he talked about players with the top amount of stats. I don't know how to use Excel. I never went to college. I think I sorted it by the highest kills. Total kills. Maybe, thinking about it, averages are probably better, but it's average kills. So we have a bunch of Night Witches players. Lord Bane, stupid name. But this is Fleet Battles, so how much do these average kills matter? We're going to be wanting to look at a more important stat like average deaths. See, these are the really great stats, right? You just get this whole list of players who have 0 average points in anything. These guys are going to be the ones to look out for, right? These are the top staying alive, not giving up morale, most important, most impactful players. And we see names, that we're expecting to see. Remnant, Rando, is Geo there. Cavern Angels apparently have stats that I don't believe that these players are real. I don't think that they exist. I'm just going to come out and say that. So, starting things off from the very top here, I'm going to have to select my 16 teams. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I still need to pick another team. And I just don't think that I can, honestly. I think that I will have to say 15 teams will make it to day 2. I don't think that there will be 16 teams, honestly. I've compared the stats. You just watched me. Back when I started the video, I was comparing the stats. I don't see a 16th team making it here, so I'm going to leave that open. I think just going over, starting off the video here, I would like to go over, which teams I think are good. And of the teams that I've selected, I don't see Agriculture doing well at all. I think I could beat Agriculture alone, 1v5. So I'm only just putting them on there as a formality. And none of the other teams matter, right? I told you how to beat the Randalorians. I told you how much I just cannot stand Skull Squadron. I told you about Whitebread Squadron down here. Everyone else is just kind of forgettable, really. You guys really need to step it up. If you're not on my radar, doesn't matter, really. Whatever. So just a little disclaimer here at the start of the video. This is my opinion, everything I say here, isn't... It's just my opinion. It's not fact, So I think I'll close things off now, ending the video here with just putting in my, 15 teams that I think will make it to day 2. And I hope that, my insights into, how stats affect a team's quality and, talking about some of the lineups specifically, I hope that helped you guys. Maybe, come into a little bit of better understanding about the Squadron's competitive community, of which I am a part of. It's a lovely community. I can think off the top of my hands of I could probably count on one hand how many people I actually like and would get a beer with and want to hang out with. The rest of you are just completely inconsolable. And just a little disclaimer here, right at the start. Everything that I've said here is objective fact. If you disagree, you are wrong. I would love to help educate you on how you could be less wrong. Please @ me in your Discord server and I will come and talk to you. If you think this video had anything objectionable in it, I'm open to a dialogue as long as you're open to accepting the fact that I'm right and you're wrong. Yeah, so I think I'd like to start the video here, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Stick around for more Squadrons content. And good luck to all teams at the Cal Cup. Thank you to the organizers. And thank you to the Statsmen. You guys are killing it out there. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you guys on the next episode of